Hi, and welcome to this module on neuromodulation devices in the management of migraine and also for vestibular migraine. So what are neuromodulation devices? The chances are you may or probably may not have heard of them. They're coming to the fore more and more, and personally I'm a huge fan of them. I've been using mine for about 4 to 5 years now, I think, and I wouldn't be without mine. I find it really effective, and it has meant that I haven't got to be reliant on any medications in terms of my migraine management, because I use that holistic approach along with my neuromodulation device. For me, that's quite extraordinary because I was incredibly chronic and I spent my existence in bed with top neurologists telling me that that's how I had to learn to live my life and there was no other option for me. Well, we know that's not the case, don't we? So, what are neuromodulation devices? They are handheld devices, they're non-invasive, and you can apply them for both prevention and also for acute treatment. So they've got two methods of use. And you apply these to your neck, generally, sometimes it's the forehead, to stimulate the vagus nerve. And we know that the vagus nerve has a big gut-brain connection. And what it's doing is it's stimulating and strengthening that connection and help support basically the brain and the gut. And also things like the adrenals and the whole nervous system to be able to support us against and for the treatment of migraine. So not only can they be good for things like the pain management in migraine, they can be good for also reducing the severity of a migraine attack, the frequency of your migraine. So hopefully with use, along with everything else, it should raise up your migraine threshold. And it's got no side effects really because it's not medication. So this is perfect if you want a non-medication treatment plan. And even if you are taking medication and you feel like it's not sufficient, or you do prefer to maybe have a non-medication route, you can use this in tandem. Do check in with your healthcare provider, obviously, before you start something. And they obviously will be aware most of the time of these devices. However, on the NHS, I think it was back last year, they did bring in one of the neuromodulation devices, and they know it works for migraine. We've got clinical research to show that it does work for both vestibular migraine, menstrual migraine, and normal migraine. However, the NHS, because they feel, and this is my understanding, that there is enough treatment options available for migraine, this isn't considered as a funded option. So they are only currently, the NHS, funding it for some specific cluster headache clients or individuals. So I'm hoping this will change in the future, but for now, unfortunately, using neuromodulation devices is something that we have to privately fund ourselves. But on that note, it can be life-changing and can be really supportive. So which is why I've really wanted to include it into part of the treatment plan in terms of your migraine treatment support. So let me show you what I use. So personally, I love a Gammacore device. So this is a Gammacore device, and it's a handheld device. I can carry it around. It's pretty light. I can carry it around in my handbag, for example. And if I'm going to be using it for prevention, generally they advise it to use in 3 sessions a day. So we might do that first thing in the morning, ideally within an hour of waking up, because it's really trying to stimulate your neurotransmitter production, for example. Maybe again around lunchtime, and then again maybe dinner time, or around that time. You don't need to do it at meal times. And then what you would use is this electrolyte gel, so that when you place it on the neck, we are stimulating the nerve, and then you just wipe this off. So it's pain-free, it's pretty hassle-free. The only thing that you may need is a tissue to be able to wipe the gel off afterwards. And if you are having an acute attack, or perhaps you are more chronic in terms of your migraine position, you may need to use it more. So when I turn this on, it lights up and it has a number. It tells me how much is in the battery, but it also tells me, for example, how many days I've got left on this subscription, and then also how many uses I've got left in that 24 hours. And from memory, I think you've got something like 30 uses in a 24-hour period, which is more than enough. If you are having an acute stage, you can use this much more frequently, and for example, do seek advice for your own treatment plan. But for me, I may use it sort of up to every 15 minutes if I'm in a very acute stage and I want to rescue a migraine treatment. It can be really helpful. So I'll give you a little demonstration so you can see this with the Gammacore. Now the Gammacore, like I say, this is the only one that I've found clinical research on, and I've been using this now for 4 to 5 years. And like I say, I wouldn't be without it now. So with Gammacore, you do need to complete some medical information so that they can just assess you before going ahead with this. Then it gets sent in the post, and then every 3 months, I do it on a 3-month subscription. They will send me new gel and a card that I can update my device with. I just put the gel onto the little electrode pads at the top there. Now this seems complicated, but it really isn't. You get used to this and almost do it in your sleep. So with the device on, I just place this on the right-hand side of my neck, and I up the dosage. So there's a little button on here and it will go up in dosage. You find a place that's comfortable, and I'm going to show you. You know that you've got the right place in the neck because you can feel it, but you will also start to get a little bit of pull on your lip. Can you see this here? So this now tells me I've got it in the right place, and it's stimulating the vagus nerve. This will last for 2 minutes, and then a little buzzer will sound and the device will turn itself off. I wait for 30 seconds and then I redo. So I'm just going to take this off because I'm sure I shouldn't really be talking whilst doing that. So 2 lots of 2 minutes is considered 1 use. And don't worry, your lip goes back perfectly normal after you've finished it. It's just the way that the device works so that you know you've got the vagus nerve. Now you can stimulate the vagus nerve, and I'm going to cover that in another module for you so that you can, some people gain benefit from stimulating their vagus nerve in other ways, such as like humming, deep breathing work, yoga, blah, blah, blah. But you may find that if you have got sort of a chronic migraine or a big migraine picture going on, something like this will be a lot stronger, and you'll find it a lot more effective. So this is the Gammacore. Then, like I said, this is the one that's got clinical research, and this would be my top one. This is my top favorite one to recommend to clients to use. Gammacore, I have a relationship with. So there is and I will put it in the module, but also if you go to my shopping page, there is a discount code that you can enter, which is CJ10 from memory, and this will give you 10% off a subscription. I normally find with clients, I knew immediately whether this was going to be right for me or not. My first time I used it, I was having a migraine, I was in bed, I was in the dark, and I couldn't stand up because it was vestibular migraine. And within 3 uses, over 2 hours, I was downstairs and cooking myself some dinner with the lights on, which was an incredible turnaround because trust me, that never happened. So I saw huge benefit from this quite quickly, and I say to people, normally within a couple of weeks, you'll know whether this is helpful or not to you. And if it isn't, you just cancel your subscription, and you can, it's something that you've tried. But I tend to find for most migraine clients, they tend to find that that's very effective. So might be something you might want to explore. What else is there out there? So another device is Pulsetto. Again, it's on my shopping page, and I will put the discount code into the module as well for you with the link. Pulsetto is a similar one. You put this around your neck, and it has the stimuli here that you just place it on your neck. And again, similar method in as much as you apply the treatment. With Pulsetto, I think you buy the machine outright. You'll have to double check because again, it's not one that I personally use. But again, the information will be there in the link. There's also a Keflo device. This one is worn on the forehead. So this one isn't necessarily stimulating the vagus nerve. It's stimulating the trigeminal nerve. And it can be really helpful for migraine clients. And I have heard people have quite a good success with this. You buy the device, and then you have to buy pads, and then you have to buy the gel. So, you need to work out the cost longer term for that, because obviously it's something that you need to continue with. But you place this on the forehead, and you do again, like sessions, so that you can use it as prevention and also for acute treatment, I believe. There is also something called Sensate. I love Sensate, but it's something that I would say that if you're struggling with migraine or with vestibular migraine especially, I don't think it's quite what you're after. It is stimulating the vagus nerve, and you wear it around your neck like a pebble, and you buy the device outright. It doesn't necessarily have any more running costs to it. And like I say, you wear it around your neck and you wear it for like 10-minute slots. It's based around stimulating the vagus nerve, but more focused on things like anxiety and stress relief. So as much as I love it, and it's brilliant for people with things like IBS, gut motility, stress, anxiety, you can use it again, take time out when you're doing it, listen to some meditation or some calming music, and I really urge people to use it as their focus time. You can also share it with the other people, for example, that is appropriate for in the house. So it's multi-use as well, but it's more of an everyday, I'd like to support my vagus nerve, as opposed to something very focused for migraine and vestibular migraine. But I have included it just because I want people to be aware about the benefits of stimulating the vagus nerve and what it can really do for our nervous system, and can be really grounding and beneficial for us on so many levels. So I hope that's helpful for you. I hope I've given you some information. Hopefully a demonstration has helped so that you can understand what it's like to use. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. And like I said, the links are also going to be in the module, but also on my shopping page. So feel free to use them because the discounts are there to be able to offer you the opportunity to give them a try. And I would love to know if you use them and if it helps you and what your feedback is. So see you in the next module.